Okay, so I am recording this call and it is Monday, April 8th. So welcome everybody. Um, Tonight we're going to talk a little bit, we're going to go start a little bit with where we were last week, talking about really dreaming about what it is that we want for ourselves. Everyone who started out as a client spoke to their coach about dreaming a little bit about what they want from themselves, what they want to create for themselves in terms of their health. And as you know, we dig down deep into that. So when we have a health assessment with a client, we really want them to dig down a little deeper than just saying, I want to lose 40 pounds. You know, what will that mean to you? How will that feel? What would that mean to the people around you? Well, as a coach, we want to do the same thing. What do you want for yourself? Now, a lot of us have come on just to help a few people. Anybody come on just to help a few people or stay accountable to your health? And it's transpired for a lot of people to much bigger dreams. So we just want to talk a little bit about that. I'm going to share a little story of my own, if that's okay. But some of you know my story, and I'm not going to go deep into it, but I had a lot of financial struggles throughout my entire marriage and bringing up my children. It was quite a struggle. I was living in an area that I probably shouldn't have been living in because I couldn't keep up with the Joneses, but I was very creative in how I managed. However, I wouldn't sleep at night. All of this financial stress was on me. It was a lot of pressure. I did things like I worked at a sleepaway camp so that my kids could go for free. I worked there for 4 summers so that all 3 kids could go to sleepaway camp like all of their, friends in town. I sometimes I delivered flowers on Valentine's Day. Like I did all kinds of things to try to make a couple of extra bucks. I look back now and we really didn't get to go on family vacations. We didn't have the finances to do that. And we never want to look back with regret, but sometimes there actually, to be honest, there is a little regret, but this is just kind of interesting. So when I saw the potential of Optavia and fell in love with the program and saw the potential of the business and saw that this could be the way out of all of these years of not sleeping because of finances and never really knowing any way to get out of this situation, I took the business seriously. I decided that I'm going to be serious. I touched my business every day, and fell in love with it, and has been able to help a lot of people along the way. But I had a little bit of an experience a couple of weeks ago, and it was just such a small thing, but it was powerful to me. And my daughters were over, and we were going to go someplace, and they were talking a little bit about some of their expenses and things like that. And I just kind of went to my wallet and handed them each cash. And that's not like really a big deal for most people, but I was never able to hand my kids cash. They had to earn their own money, and I never could just like give them money like that. And they're adults now. They have their own jobs, they're out of the house, but they looked at me like, why are you giving us this money? And I said, I have it. I just want to give it to you. Just use it for something and let me know what it is. Like, don't just put it in your wallet. And they were like, Ma, no, and trying to give it back. And I said, just take it. Just get something with it. It wasn't a lot of money. Anyway, a few days later, my daughter sent me a picture of her hands. She had gotten a manicure. And I don't know, it was just like a powerful moment for me because it felt so good. And, my dreams have gotten bigger, and I'm really looking forward to taking my kids and my son's spouse on a vacation and paying for it. And these are the kinds of things I never got to do. I didn't get to take my kids on vacation and everything. So I'm dreaming bigger, and, I hope that all of you are too. And as you move forward in this process, that's what we want. We want you to dream bigger, but again, digging down deep and feeling how that's going to feel when you accomplish that. And it might be a big dream and it might be a small. So I just wanted to share that. And Susan, I just thought, maybe you could share a little bit of what you've been able to do with Optavia.
Okay. Well, so I found Optavia after I left selling medical devices for a large international company. And it was like a downsizing thing. And I was at an age where I'm like, do I want to retire, or do I want full-time work, or do I want part-time work? But I met Janet by chance and saw the, Coaches Wanted. And then we started talking about coaching, and I had weight to lose. So I started losing weight, analyzed the whole program, found it to be flawless. And within about a month, I was coaching. So the thing that I was looking to at this point in our life with a grown married daughter is travel. And so it's just great as I've built my business, and it's not where it's going to be, but it's sizable considering where I started. It's great to contemplate vacations and just say, well, let's go here. This year we're going to Yellowstone. We're going to Aruba. We're going whitewater rafting in June in Pennsylvania. And we'll be in California by Christmas. And not really having to think like, where's the money coming from? I'm going to have to pay off the credit card for thousands of dollars when I'm done. So that's really bringing joy to life, and a lack of stress over travel we still would have pulled out of the hat, or we would have tried to pull out of the hat. But I'd like to make a comment based on something that happened this weekend, and this has to do with Optavia personal development. I was at a weekend with my sisters, and there were a number of conversations where there are widely divergent views religiously and politically. So in this climate in the United States, you can imagine what bombshells we might have been sidestepping. And with the personal development that we've been doing and that I've been taking to heart with Optavia, I tried to enter every conversation non-judgmentally, meet the person where they are, try to find out more about what they're thinking. And another thing that I incorporated was try to get your ego out and do not be invested in the outcome. And if you're wrong, you haven't lost. So all these little things are going on in my head. And it became a little bit odd, and I came home feeling a little uneasy. But I got a call from one of my sisters today saying that after our weekend together, 2 people had come up to her and saying, I can't believe what a calming influence your sister Susan was when so-and-so went on that rant about whatever. So I felt like that was a giant step personally that did not have to do with dollars and cents, but the dollars and cents rock. So.
No, I love that. I love that. I think that a lot of us who have been in Optavia and really taking to the trainings that we get, and we get trainings at convention, we get trainings on Zoom calls, and we do things on our own too. We read books that are good for our self-development, and as we develop, it is an amazing feeling to be able to stay calm, and even with everything's been going on with IT the last couple of months, to be able to talk to a client who might be upset about something and sort of just stay calm and de-escalate the situation. It's great. I love that. I love that story. Yeah. Okay. So one of the other things that we wanted to talk about tonight, or look, did anyone else want to share did anybody do the homework of coming up with anything more on their dreams, anything specific, even if it's really a small thing that you want to accomplish? Small thing, big thing? Anybody have anything? Nope. Nora?
I can share because I texted you. I actually shared it on Janet's team page too. So I'm a personal trainer, and at the end of every month, I do my finances for my personal training business. And I bill my clients. And so I did all that over the weekend, and I texted Janet and I said, wow, I was on a cruise for a week. I took some other time off to be with my kids during other days during the month of March. And my income grew over the month. Now in the personal training business, when you can't be there, you don't get paid. When your clients get sick, you don't get paid. Barbara, you know this. You have a lot of people working for you. So, it was a great testament to, bringing Optavia into my life. And, honestly, I brought Optavia in as a tool to help my clients, not knowing what it was going to be. I truly had no idea I could grow the business that I am growing. And it was just such a great feeling to know, and this I just feel is like the beginning of being able to touch so many more lives. And so I texted Janet and I said, with this, I'm still so, now I'm dreaming about buying the house on the lake that I've wanted and, taking family vacations and making sure we go on that ski trip every year and, and mini vacations for my husband and I and what it represents. So, again, just so blessed for Janet, who has been such a wonderful mentor and my great team of coaches that, have helped me, like Susan said, grow personally and professionally. So it's great.
Yeah. And, I don't think your business would have grown with you not being there that month had you not had a team of coaches. So we love to sponsor and mentor coaches to help them get what they want. And of course it grows our business at the same time. So we're really like, it's a win-win for everybody. So we talked last week about the tip calls, right? I wanted to talk a little bit more about that again. And in the Janet's team page, I posted a script. And we don't read from scripts, but it gives us an idea. And just to talk again a little bit about what a tip call is. And so we find that when people come on board so Jen, you came on board after like 9 months, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and that's great. And that's fine. And that's, we're so happy to have you. There are coaches that are coming on board within their first month, especially these days. That's why Optavia is growing so fast. And what they're finding is that when coaches come on that soon, no, they're not the expert, obviously. They feel great. The program is starting to work and they're bringing along their friends and family. And they are starting to transform their financial health right along with their physical health. So one of the ways that that's happening, we call it a tip call. And it is to really help people with some extra tips. So let's just say that Susan is, wait, Laura, how are we doing this? So I'm Susan's mentor. And Nora is Susan's coach. No, Nora's Susan, I'm sorry. Susan is a coach. Susan is coaching Nora. Okay, so I'm Susan's coach. I sponsored Susan, and now Susan is coaching Nora. And Nora's been on program for a couple of weeks, and Nora happens to have a very big Facebook community. She's very into Facebook. And she's been on program a couple of weeks, and Susan says to Nora, hey, Nora, at this point, you've been on a couple of weeks. This is where I bring on my coach just to take, just to meet you. We like to team coach, but also she'll be able to give you a couple of extra tips. So then I come on the call. Susan introduces me to Nora, and then Susan really doesn't say anything. Okay. Susan has the opportunity to coach Nora all the time. This is a tip call. This is my time to get to know Nora. We're going to keep this call very short. We want to keep it 10 minutes, maybe 15, the most. This is not going to be a half an hour call. So Susan introduces me. I speak to Nora. I, kind of ask her why she came on board, how she's doing, how she's feeling. So Nora, how are you feeling? You're 2 weeks in. Susan tells me you're doing great.
Fat burn is amazing. So much better. I have so much more energy, and I love it that I don't have to think about, what I'm going to eat all the time. Just think about one meal with my busy life. It's just so easy to do.
And you have a lot of energy, because I know before you were complaining about napping a lot. Now you're feeling like you don't need those naps.
Yeah, about 3 or 4 o'clock, I used to just crash out, and I would always say that, Starbucks always lift me up, and I haven't even been to Starbucks at all in the last 2 weeks, and I actually more energy.
That's great. And also, did I hear something about your knees are feeling better when you're going up and down the stairs?
Yeah. It's really interesting. I didn't realize how much they hurt until they didn't hurt. At all.
That's awesome. So, Nora, are you using some of the different components of the program? I know you're speaking to Susan, and Susan's such a great resource. She's such a great coach. That accountability is going to really help you. So hopefully you'll continue to, to be in touch with Susan throughout your journey and throughout transition. I know you know about the Habits of Health book. Have you been taking a look at that at all yet, or not yet?
Honestly, I haven't really looked at the book very much. I haven't really had time to kind of open it up.
Yeah, well, it's still soon. It's still early, so you have that. And did she tell you about the Habits of Health calls or podcasts?
She mentioned that, but how do I find it again? Because I haven't seen one.
Okay, so we'll blah, 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 tell her how to find that, right? Okay. So, Nora, you've accomplished so much. You have this great energy. Your knees aren't hurting. This is a little challenge I'd like to give you. I know you enjoy being on Facebook. Can I ask you to maybe take on this challenge?
I don't know. Depends what you ask me.
Okay. Well, one of the things that we like to challenge you with is to live out loud and live your journey out loud. And what that means is really just to kind of announce to your friends and family that you're on this journey, because it kind of gives you actually another layer of accountability. You know, when somebody publicly proclaims that what their health goals are, or that they're on this health journey, you know, your friends and family, people might like see you and say, hey, how's it going? Because now like they kind of know what you're doing. So, you know, I'm just wondering if you would be maybe willing to just sort of post, I can give you the wording, but basically like, I'm feeling great. I've been on this health program for a couple of weeks. Thanks to Susan Bergio for all her help. Something like that.
Yeah, you know, I've done it under the radar. I haven't told anyone I'm doing the program. So this would be like a big deal to kind of do it. But what would, you know, you want to tell me why? What would be beneficial in doing it?
Well, like I said, when people kind of put it out there, they're kind of more likely to achieve their goals. Like when you have a goal and you tell somebody that you're working on that goal, it's just one more step of accountability than just keeping it to yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay.
So that's the main reason. And, you know, kind of people will be interested, and you might inspire other people. People might ask what you're doing, and there might be a lot of other people out there who, you know, are begging or like going to sleep crying for something. So you may inspire them, and you don't even need to do anything. You could just kind of sit back and thank people for their encouragement. And, you know, even if they ask what program, you don't have to answer. Susan or I can reach out and just say, you know, if you're interested in hearing more, I'll private message you. You know, you never know. Some of your friends might want to come on board, and you might even want to help coach them. And get 5 people come on that first month, you'll earn about $450. So it might be something. But if not, you know, we'll help them, and you'll be inspiring other people.
Okay. Well, it's worth. I mean, I don't need to tell them how much I've lost or need to lose, right? Okay.
No. Just, you know, that you're feeling great. You're on a program to create health. You know, your knees are feeling better. You've got so much energy. And thanks to Susan, I'm so glad I said yes.
I can do that. I can do that. It's not a big deal. Awesome. Yeah. Okay.
All right. So I guess I wanted to just give you guys a little bit of an idea of that part of the tip call. That's not the whole tip call. I would also be giving her a few more, you know, tips about maybe drinking the water or whatever it might be appropriate. But does anyone have any comments on that? Has anybody done a tip call yet with their coach, and what did they think and how did it go? Jane?
Hi. Nora and I did a tip call with a client of mine that's 6 weeks. She's been on program for 6 weeks, and we did the call just a little bit ago before our leadership call, and it went really great. And, you know, it was really enjoyable. The client was very open to the feedback, and I think she's going to post something, but she needed a little time to think about it, but we're going to, you know, all's well. I can see the benefits from having tip calls, and I like the approach so much more than just calling them a celebration call, or I think a lot came from that. And I think, you know, I'm going to do those sooner. I think I'm going to do those like week 2 with a lot of people that are coming into it.
And I think people like the fact that there's somebody else who cares too.
She loved it.
Yeah. Great. Thanks. Like Jen, I know, you know, you're brand new, and that was kind of like a tip call for your brand new client. And how did she feel about having another pair of eyes?
She was like, oh, she's so nice. That was so nice. I'm glad I talked to her. So, yeah.
So I think it's a good feeling for a client to know that not only their boy, these people really care, right? Mm-hmm. It's not only my coach. Now there's another coach who cares. Mm-hmm. So it's a nice thing to have all of that attention, I think, as a client.
Notice I didn't jump in and say, yeah, I'll go ahead and post that. I wanted to give you a hard time, Janet. But I think because sometimes people are apprehensive, right? So the more comforting that we make it feel, the easier it is for them. So like Jane's client was like, oh, that's really funny because a friend of mine did this program and that's what made me reach out to her. And then I So she even said, I see the marketing behind that. It was kind of funny. But this was my takeaway from that, is because this is a new thing for us that we need to get out of our own way. So when, that person started to be like, oh, I'm not sure, like your first reaction would be like, oh, it's okay, you don't need to do it, right? No, you want to just encourage them and say, it would be so great for you. The more cheerleaders you have, what we believe in Optavia is the more support that you get, the more successful you're going to be. And that's why we love this. And the script that Janet posted has a great script of what you're going to get from it is 1, 2, and 3. It gives you 3 things to kind of do. So catch yourself if they start to stumble and don't dive right into wanting to post their life on social media. Just make it encouraging, low key. When you're ready, I'll give you the words. You don't have to think about it. And then they'll probably do it. So the woman said with Jane, yeah, let me think about it. I'll probably do it.
Yeah.
And we also said, you don't have to do it before and after for your first post. You can share, today I hit 10,000 steps and on my Fitbit. Yeah. Or it could be any little non-scale victory that they want to share. And they can tag their coach. And I'm so grateful for the support of my coach. And this is what I've been able to accomplish. This is my non-scale victory, exciting news, whatever that is.
And the beautiful thing is we don't have to sell Optavia, so a post like that might grab the attention of somebody who is crying themselves to sleep because of their health or because of their weight, because of their struggles. And a post like that can just be the thing that inspires them and has them reach out. And so, so many of us have come onto Optavia because of seeing posts or hearing of other people's success. And I love what Nora said about when you feel uncomfortable, maybe you don't want to do a tip call, you're not sure. That's when you got to dig down and look at those dreams that we want to hear about. That's what those dreams are for. That's why you can think about how you're going to feel when that is accomplished. Eric, did you want to make a comment on that?
Oh, you know me. I always have a comment, but I've learned to hold my tongue. So yeah, I had a couple of things I'd like to say. Thanks, Janet. Listen, raise your hand if you found at least one thing that's difficult about being an Optavia coach, right? I'm not even an Optavia coach, and I've found things that are Optavia coach. Okay,
pseudo coach.
And it's about getting out of your comfort zone, right? And there's things that you need to do in this business to be successful. And that requires sometimes getting out of your comfort zone. So having a deep emotional connection to something that you're trying to achieve, whether it's for taking care of an elderly parent and financially helping them, or spending more time with your family because you don't have to work full time anymore, or one of a million different things, that emotional connection that you get to actually getting into incredible detail about exactly what you're trying to achieve is what will drive you past the barrier that you're feeling when you encounter that escape from your comfort zone. So those things that you kind of tend to put off, or the things that you do 9/10 of what you're supposed to do to be a good Optavia coach because that 1/10 thing bothers you, when you have that deep intrinsic motivation and that feeling of what you're going to feel like when you achieve your goal, that will be enough to push you past that barrier. So the reason that we talk about dream building and getting into detail about where exactly is that vacation going to be, and what kind of place am I going to stay at, and what's the view going to be like, and what is the activities I'm going to do, that's to inspire you to get emotional about it, and that emotion will drive you past your blockades. If there's one thing I could say about the tip call, I was actually on the cruise with Janet when we learned about the tip calls, and I had a chance to speak to some of the people there as well. Let's make sure we make it fun, light, relaxed, cool, enjoyable. This is not work. This is not something for them to do. This is, look what you can do. You're feeling so great. Now, obviously, if you're having keto rash on week 1 or week 2, wait a little while. Okay? But if you're doing great and you're feeling great, hey, let's let everybody know. Do you have a Facebook account? Yeah, let's make a posting on Facebook. Just say how you're feeling great, and you've been involved in a weight or health transformation program, and you're just feeling spectacular. And you don't need to go into the details. And it's important also that you're not really asking them to do this. Now, get this in your head. This is the way it's done. It hasn't been done that way in this team, but they don't need to know that yet. This is just the next thing. So just like they had to tell you their goals when they started on plan, just like they had to follow the plan reasonably closely in order to stay on plan, this is just the next thing to do. This is not asking permission. It's just the next thing to do.
The tip call, you mean?
Pardon me?
You mean the tip call is the next?
Yeah. No, not just the tip call, but posting. Now, if they fight back, well, of course you're not gonna push. But this is what people do because they're so excited and they're happy. Mm-hmm. So have an expectation when you speak to them, a polite expectation. Yeah, if you're feeling good, let's share this information with people, and then you'll get more support from them.
Good.
Keep it super simple. Thanks, Jen.
Great. Okay, we're just about 9. We started a couple of minutes late. Anybody else want to share or anything else that we want to celebrate? Nope. We're all good?
I'll share. Well, okay.
Go ahead, Jane.
I have a mother-daughter. The a mother's doing the program, and the girl is a 17-year-old teen, so she's doing the girls' teen program. And so I'm excited about that. They're beginning tomorrow, and they were going to postpone it, but because they thought they couldn't do it after the holidays with Passover and Easter. But their box arrived today, and I got a text. We want to start tomorrow. We're so excited. This is the most exciting. This is like Christmas, Hanukkah, everything in our house. We've never been more excited. So,
well,
anyways.
That's great. Obviously, you did a good job getting them prepared, and they're that excited to start. So that's awesome.
Hey, Janet, can I share something quick about my son?
Yeah.
So my son, Sammy, has been overweight his entire life. He's 19. And he's probably he was around 50 to 55 or 60 pounds overweight. And he came home for the holidays over Christmas break from college, and he had put on more than the freshman 15 in only half a freshman year. And he started on plan, and he did 4 weeks, and he lost a good amount of weight in 4 weeks. I think he lost like 14 pounds. To my great surprise, when he went back to college, he had learned the right eating techniques. And he, by the way, is developmentally disabled, mentally challenged. And he was able to learn this program so well that he changed his eating habits at school and continued to lose weight. I think he lost another, 8 or 9 or 10 pounds?
Not on the 5 and 1.
Not on the 5 and 1.
He did the 5 and 1 for 4 weeks.
That's right. So he was eating in the dining hall, and he lost 12 pounds. So, this is a transformation, this program. Whether you're using the food or not using the food, it's a transformation. And he's actually learned healthier eating techniques, and he's continuing them on his own. So I'm really proud of him, and I want to thank you, Janet, for helping.
That's a celebration.
Big deal.
Nora, that's a celebration.
I should post it on Facebook.
Yeah, that's great. Well, it's great to see everybody. I'm excited for what's to come. Again, welcome, Jen. Welcome to the team. I'm so happy to have you on board, and I know that doing some coaching is going to definitely help you to stay accountable, as it has for many of us. And so, get your dreams down, and whether it's on a dream board or whether you're going to write it out, but get specific, share it with your coach. And I can't wait to hear as people's dreams come true and as we have more and more to celebrate on these Zooms.
Yeah. Karen, what does your shirt say?
Be extraordinary. Extraordinary. Yay!
That's us, guys.
Got it.
All right. And great to see Barbara. Barbara stayed awake for the meeting.
I
Yay.
did
Barbara.
barely, but I'm here.
Yeah, it's so good to see you.
Well worth it. It's nice seeing
You
everyone.
made it to 9 o'clock. Now you can do that every week on Monday, your late night.
Oh, see, now the bar has been raised.
You got it.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good
Thank
night.
you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you.